Bruh, this easily has to be my favorite recipe on my channel right now. Every other recipe before this doesn't even matter. Like, I think I should call this the Marry Me Gumbo, because it's giving absolutely that. What's good, Teacup Gang? Happy Black History Month and welcome back to Cooking with Tea. Today, we're gonna be making one of my favorite Southern traditions of all time, seafood gumbo. Okay, so I've had this growing up on special occasions, and what better way to celebrate Black History Month than with one of my favorite childhood Southern dishes. So for today's seafood gumbo, we're gonna be using king crab legs, we're gonna be using some shrimp, and I also have some pork andouille sausage because that's major key. You can't have a gumbo without it. That's that. I also feel the same way about okra. I love okra inside my gumbo, and I feel like okra is one of those ingredients, those vegetables. Is it a fruit? Is it a fruit or a vegetable? I forget. Some people prefer their gumbo without okra, but me, there's no way. Okra holds so much tradition. It's so deeply rooted in Black American culture and history. It's just absolutely delicious, and I can't have my gumbo without it, so that's why we're using that today. So to get started, I wanna prep our shrimp because we're gonna be making our seafood stock from scratch. I have all the trim from all of the things we've meased out today and some other things in the fridge that I was ready to get rid of in that bowl. So we're gonna also add our shrimp shells into the stock as well to definitely build more flavor in the stock. So to do that, I'm gonna take a small pair of scissors and I'm going to remove the shell. You can totally get your shrimp prepared without the shell, but I think that the shell just invites so much more flavor into the stock that way. So for me, that's a major key. You can buy pre-made stock. I'm not judging you. I'm just showing you how I'm giving it up, okay? If there's any bile in the shrimp left, I will take it out. I just rather do it under some cold running water, just because it gets messy if it's not underwater. I feel like it gets everywhere and it's sticky and it's gross. I like to leave the tail on the shrimp. I feel like when it's not on there, shrimp looks weird. It's like it needs to have it. It's part of the aesthetic. It's part of an aesthetically pleasing gumbo. So around Black History Month, I feel like the weather also kind of like chills down in LA. So gumbo is perfect for like the rainy, comforting, cozy days. So I hope this recipe is right on time for y'all, just like it is for me. So we have our shrimp nice and peeled, but I wanna make sure to rinse off any bile that is left in. And the best way to do that is in cold running water to kind of loosen anything up. So our shrimp is clean, and now we're gonna get into cleaning our crab legs, or, you know, preparing them and breaking them down to smaller sizable pieces. I like to like just break where the joints are carefully because, you know, king crab has like these little prickly, I don't know what's the proper word for it, but they have these little spikes on them, and that's pretty much like their defense mechanism. So it hurts really bad. So you wanna make sure you are being very mindful and careful, because I have stabbed myself on these before. Any extra little cartilage, I like to snip off, and that's gonna go right into our stock. As far as our portions of the crab, I like to break down the crab on the white side. There's the pink side and then there's a white side. The white side is actually a little bit more tender and easy to cut through versus the opposite orange or coral colored side. And I like to open it up to expose the crab meat, but I don't want to take the shell all the way off. I think it's also aesthetically pleasing to keep some of the shell attached. So this is like the perfect size for me, and I'm gonna just set it aside. And then we're going to pretty much repeat it like this until we have all of our crab broken down. I think that king crab is easily one of my favorite proteins ever. It's just absolutely delicious, and I mean, like, if you know, you know. King crab is the best. The best ever. And for me, I really love seafood. I'm a seafood girly all day. So if seafood isn't really your jam when it comes to anything, or if you prefer a gumbo without seafood, which is called a gumbo yaya, which is pretty much just gonna be like chicken or pork and some sausage. No seafood at all, but I love some seafood. So This right here is my favorite part of the crab. Like, I'm not even worried about the legs too much. Yes, they're good, but this right here, for some reason, it just hits so much better for me. And I feel like it's almost a little bit like, it's just like more fleshy, because this is where this was attached to the crab body, essentially. So, also it really helps if you're using the right pair of scissors for this. These are like legit kitchen shears and pretty much can cut down fish bones, shells, all the things. Don't try to do it with regular scissors. Just like that, all of our crab is broken down. So now that we have our shellfish prepped, now is the perfect time to start our stock, because we want to make sure this gets going and cooking for a decent amount of time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add all the trim into this pot. All right, and then I'm just gonna add some cold water just until everything is nice and submerged. I know it's not typical to add salt to stock, but I do it. So now I'm gonna add a few bay leaves, pop the lid on, and let it do its thing. So the stock is rocking and rolling. Now we're gonna focus back on our proteins. I wanna make sure that we season the shrimp right now, because you wanna build the flavors, you wanna marry the flavors. I don't just wanna season the gumbo, I wanna season every single step of the way. That's the key to a perfect, balanced, seasoned dish. So in the mortar and pestle, I have a little Creole spice situation. It's gonna be dried basil, dried oregano, white pepper, cayenne, smoked paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, a little fresh cracked pepper, always fresh cracked pepper, y'all. I can't stress that enough. And then typically it also comes with dried thyme, but I just, for some reason, don't like dried thyme. It tastes like dirt to me. All right, now we're just gonna grind everything up. There's nothing like making fresh ground spices. Who knows, I might even have a little spice line coming your way. But this right here is major key, fresh spices. The best way to do it. You wanna make sure you're kind of really grinding it up. This also helps like activate the oils that are in the spice already when we're doing this, just like that. Absolutely perfect. So I'm gonna give our shrimp a really nice, beautiful season while the stock is working and all the things, so we have time to like really marry the flavors of the shrimp. We're also gonna season with salt, of course, always. So we got a little salt in that mix. And just like that, the shrimp is seasoned and we're gonna set it aside. Now we're going to focus on our andouille sausage. Okay, so when making a gumbo, andouille sausage is major key. Any Louisiana Cajun style sausage, like an andouille, this is a pork sausage. You can use chicken sausage if you like, but that pork has that nice fattiness. And an andouille sausage is seasoned to perfection. You know, it's spicy, it's absolutely delicious. You can see the little fat inside of it. And I love it. I love an andouille sausage. It's my vibe all day. So I like to cut them in half, and then I like to slice them at a bias. Nice, beautiful, big chunks. I want there to be nice chunks of everything throughout the gumbo while we're eating it. I mean, to bite into some shrimp, some crab. I want it to be really meaty and bountiful and celebrate what a beautiful dish this is. You know what I mean? There's just so much roots and tradition in gumbo. It's actually really beautiful. My grandmother used to make gumbo for me, and my aunt makes a really amazing gumbo as well. And yeah, I just think this runs in the family, this one right here. You gotta learn how to make gumbo. Fellas, you gotta get you somebody who knows how to make a good pot of gumbo. How about that? Last thing we gotta cut right here is our okra. I love okra. It's actually really interesting because I grew up eating okra on my Filipino side as well. I guess it just has to do with that like high temperature climate, you know, the type of crops that we have, but Filipinos love okra as well. So I grew up eating it on both sides of the family. And it's funny because I also have a dish, an okra dish at my pop-up Soul Fail where I celebrate Filipino and soul food fusion. I do a really nice fried okra with like a bago ong aioli. If you know, you know. It's just so good. I hate when people say they don't like okra. Like, how do you not like okra? I'm gonna go for some nice big chunky pieces on this as well. Okra just has such a beautiful texture, so I'm trying to celebrate that. For somebody with trypophobia, okra is one of the things that literally doesn't disturb me. I don't know why. Maybe I love it just so much that it can never do me any wrong in my life. I don't know. It's really interesting because everything else freaks me out, except for okra. The key to the beautiful dark color that you see in a gumbo comes from the roux. The roux is a very important step into making a classic traditional gumbo. You have different kinds of roux. You start out with your blonde roux, but then it goes all the way down to your chocolate roux, which is what we are looking for today for our gumbo. It's gonna add nice nuttiness. It's gonna add that beautiful deep texture and flavor. And when I tell you, you can't make a gumbo without a nice dark chocolate roux. And in order to do that, we're gonna take 1 part fat and we're gonna take 1 part flour. I personally like to use butter. Some people use oil, that's totally fine, up to you. But before we do that, I wanna brown our andouille sausage in the same pot that we're gonna make our gumbo in to just add depth and flavor. I'm gonna add in a little bit of olive oil and then we're going to add in our sausage. All right, so we have our sausage getting nice and browned. Sizzling away. Ooh, look at that. So we have some nice brown color. I'm gonna go ahead and just give it a nice stir. As you can see, there's like, the olive oil is now tinted a little bit orangey red because all the spices in the actual sausage are cooking and seeping into the oil, which is a major key for building some great flavor. Yum. I'm gonna brown this for a few more minutes and then I'm gonna take it out. Look at that, it's beautiful. Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the sausage, but I wanna keep the fat that's in there. So make sure you use a slotted spoon when doing this. Beautiful. So now it's time to get into the roux, and I'm gonna go ahead and add in our butter. Ow! Make sure you gracefully add your butter in so you're not burning your beautiful brown skin or whatever skin you got. Anyways, that really hurt. The butter is in the pan with the andouille sausage fat, and I'm going ahead and kind of just releasing the fond on the bottom of this pot, which are the little brown bits that we got from that sausage. As you can see, there's like little brown specks. That is from browning our beautiful pork sausage. Amazing. So now we are going to rein in our flour. Perfection. This roux is gonna take anywhere from about 30 minutes to 40 minutes to get to that beautiful dark color that we're looking for. And I like to cook it on like a medium high heat, but you wanna be really mindful when doing this, all right? You do not wanna burn the roux. I've done it before and it's really tragic because you spend so much time on it. So this is one of those things that's like a labor of love. You have to pour your love into it. You have to take your time. That's why grannies and aunties do it so well, because they're patient. So I'm letting you know right now that don't rush this process. And I hope you guys don't rush any of your processes in life. This just smells so good already. Butter and andouille fat. Smells heavenly, just as is. This is really a labor of love, y'all. If you've ever had somebody make you gumbo, they really, really love you. Because this is not something you just throw together. Yes, it's a one pot plop. We're not plopping anything else for the rest of the day. This is a one pot banger, but a lot of love goes into making a dish like this. All right, y'all, so right now we are at a blonde roux. We've passed the white roux, blonde roux is where we're at right now. And then from there it goes on to a dark roux, and then from there it goes to a dark brown roux, which is what I refer to as a chocolate roux. I wanna say the blonde roux is giving like my skin complexion. So that's how I know it's not ready. It's a lot lighter than a peanut butter even. So I'm gonna make sure you pass the peanut butter point to the land of chocolatey goodness. Deep, dark, chocolatey goodness. It's beautiful. Our stock is actually looking absolutely and smelling absolutely amazing as well. So everything's working out. We're just building beautiful flavors around here on Cooking with Tea. So get into it. It's getting darker. It's getting deeper and darker, and the flavors are definitely coming through a lot more. It smells so deep. So nutty, like it's so interesting. So interesting. Roux are so weird. So roux is like a thickening agent. It's gonna make sure the gumbo is not like runny and super thin, but it also adds to that nice color. But there is this like depth and taste that you get when you have a dark roux. It's like really nutty, it's really rich. And the darker the roux, the better the flavor. So right now we're at a brown roux. We're not quite at dark brown yet. And yes, to you, this is gonna seem like super quick and super fast, but in reality, I've been standing here for the past 20 minutes doing this motion. I have not moved. I'm babysitting it. I'm pouring my energy and my love and my high vibrations into this roux, okay? And that's the key. I think maybe that might be the major key into the perfect gumbo, is pouring the high vibrations and patience into this roux. Okay, so we are right at the turning point from the brown roux to the dark brown roux. And this is a pivotal step because it'll turn really quickly if you don't really pay attention to it. So make sure to stay vigilant out here in these streets, all right? And get this roux nice and dark. It looks beautiful. We're almost there, y'all. I want to say 5 more minutes. I'm gonna actually crank up the heat just a tad bit. And we'll get to that nice dark chocolate. Through the peaks of the peanut butter veins. All the way down to the dark chocolatey goodness. That's what we're going for.
Warning, this won't taste anything.
No, it won't taste anything like chocolate. FYI. Imagine somebody's like, yeah, she was mentioning chocolate. I didn't get not one chocolate note. All right, so right now I'm totally comfortable with adding in our Holy Trinity, which is the base of all Cajun and Creole cuisine. It is like the Cajun mirepoix. I'm going right in with some onion. Beautiful. It's gonna seize up. You're gonna notice over time, the more we add into it, it's gonna get tighter. Now we're gonna add in our celery. And in goes the bell pepper. So from here, I'm gonna also add in some shallots. It's not super traditional when it comes to gumbo, but I love shallots. They're the perfect allium. So I'm adding that in. Beautiful. And we're gonna cook this down for about 5 minutes before adding in our next goodies. So now we're gonna go ahead and add our garlic. Give that a little mix, incorporate all the goodness in there. And then of course, we're gonna add some salt. We're layering flavors. I don't know if I said that a million times already, but that's what we do over here on Cooking with Tea. So we have some salt here. Now we're gonna add in that homemade Cajun spice and cook that down as well. I'm gonna add just a teeny bit of oil just to help bloom those spices. Wow, that looks incredible. It smells so good in here right now. Like this alone This base of the gumbo is giving me life, but when I just opened the stock pot, y'all, it set it off in here. I'm getting so hungry. It's to that point where we're gonna go ahead and have to add the stock in, because that's cooked to perfection. Now we're gonna start to build the gumbo. So we're gonna strain our stock straight into this pot here with our roux and our Holy Trinity. Go ahead straight into the strainer. Make sure you're catching all the stuff. Beauty. And then I'm gonna save some room for all of the other amazing goodness that's gonna come of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a mixy mix. And then from here, I'm gonna add in our sausage. So we have the stock in the pot. Now we're gonna add our aromatics. I'm gonna add some thyme and some bay leaf in here. Now we're gonna add some Worcestershire sauce. Good amount. I like Worcestershire. And then we're gonna add some Louisiana style hot sauce. Major key. Give it a good spanking. Yeah, that's that splash. It's gonna set it off. Okay, and then we're gonna add in our Gumbo Filet, which is sassafras leaves that have been ground up to very, very fine powder. Beautiful, beautiful. And then of course we're seasoning one more time. Probably not even the last time we're gonna season. Adding some more of that Cajun spice all up in that pot. And we're gonna let this do its thing. This is gonna cook again for about another 45 minutes. When I tell you gumbo is a labor of love dish, it really is. So if I ever make it for you, know you special, okay? All right, y'all, so the gumbo has been cooking for about 45 minutes, so now is the perfect time to add in our okra, as well as our king crab. So we're going in with the okrizi. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love okra. We got our okra in. Now we're gonna add in our king crab. Give this a nice mixy mix. And then we're gonna cook this for about 15 minutes. So when we first added the stock into the roux and the Holy Trinity, it was looking really blonde, it was looking pale, but after 45 minutes of cooking again, we brought that nice dark chocolate color back into the gumbo. So over time, it just gets deeper and richer, and it just built, like the flavors are gonna keep building and building. So in 15 minutes from now, when the okra is a lot softer, that's fine. That's great. You know, that's our cue that we're gonna let this do its thing for 15 minutes and we'll come back. All right, y'all, so the crab and the okra have been simmering away for 15 minutes and the okra added a nice texture, a nice velvety thickness to it. It also is a great thickening agent aside from the roux, so I think okra is the perfect addition to any gumbo. Now is the perfect time to add in our shrimp, and this is the last protein that you wanna add because it cooks so quickly and nobody wants overcooked shrimp, okay? In goes that shrimp. Oh yes, Lord, this is a big full pot of gumbo. Yes, it's exactly my dream. My dream. All right, y'all, so we're gonna let this cook for about 5 minutes. That's all we need. So the shrimp is cooked all the way through. This looks fantastic. Just like that, not just like that, because we've been here all day. We've been here all day, so not just like that, to you just like that, but the gumbo is done, y'all. We got a nice, full, bountiful pot. We got our crab, we got our sausage, our okra, our shrimp. Look at that dark chocolatey broth. Oh my gosh, I mean, all right, here we are, our beautiful seafood gumbo. I mean, smells divine, smells divine. Okay, I don't know in any world where you can have a beautiful pot of gumbo just like this without a fresh pot of rice. I'm gonna do just a little rice, you know, trying to stay snatched in these streets. My heart. Oh my gosh. Look at this crab. I wanna make sure I'm getting the shrimp as well. Plating all over that rice. It's a major key. I wanna get some more sausage, some more crab. I'm literally salivating right now. This looks like the perfect way to celebrate Black History Month. If you ask me, and the perfect recipe for gumbo on YouTube. I'm coming for everybody. I'm gonna add a little bit of Louisiana style hot sauce. You just have to. I'm sorry, you just got to. So I'm gonna finish it with a little bit of flaky salt. And some scallions for some freshness and some curls, because you know that's my vibe. Look at that. Don't play with her. Do not play with her. Few beautiful scallions. Beautiful. Spoon moment. I'm going straight for that rice in that broth. Wow, that is so good. Y'all, the symphony of flavors from that broth is absolutely remarkable. Like, the spice is perfect. It's not too spicy. We got the cayenne, we got the smoked paprika. The spice from the andouille sausage is also setting it completely off. It's perfectly salted. This is absolutely delicious. I don't even know if I have any words for this gumbo. We're gonna get into some crab now. I hope that's okay with y'all. Look at that bite. Are y'all ready? Bruh. This easily has to be my favorite recipe on my channel right now. Every other recipe before this doesn't even matter. Like, I think I should call this the Marry Me Gumbo, because it's giving absolutely that. It's so good, y'all. The crab is sweet, it's perfect, it's cooked to perfection. We added it right at the perfect time to like absorb enough of that flavor. Let's go in with the shrimp. I don't know if I have any more words for y'all other than I want to cuddle up on my couch, listen to the rain, and eat this bowl of gumbo. Maybe another one. That being said, I'm going cuckoo over this gumbo. That means I need to peace out and enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoyed my seafood gumbo recipe. And until next time, peace, love, and blessings.